But next up, we go back to Manchester, and it's Crawford Ashley. This is a very important night for a man who's twice before challenged for a world title and come up short. But he's desperate to get back into the big time. What a record he's had overall, Barry. And reigning again as British, Commonwealth and European light heavyweight titles. But the problem is, along the way, Crawford has made a mess of things time and again.
Well, you know, Crawford's had 2 shots at the world title before. He's fought Michael Nunn, and he's fought for another version of the title, and he defeats me at the moment. However,
Virgil Hill.
He's a guy who's been at times inconsistent and hard to keep his focus. He's a fairly complex sort of a guy. I think he'll admit that himself. But he's a tremendous puncher. He's got great combinations. However, he's 31 years old now, and
34.
In fact, 34 years old, I should say.
Yeah.
So time is slipping away. And you know, Clinton Woods is elusive, difficult to hit, moved up in weight, and shouldn't be able to have any power to cause trouble. But it's a tough fight for him, I can tell you.
Well, Ashley realises that it is a big test for him, and he's told us during the week, no more undercard fights. I do not want my career to trail off, but if he is to prevent that from happening, this is a fight he must win.
Supporting contest of the evening. It is sanctioned by the British Boxing Board of Control, the Commonwealth Boxing Council and the European Boxing Union. Your presiding Boxing Board of Control official and your Commonwealth Boxing Council official is Simon Bloch. Your European Boxing Union official is Peter Stuckey from Switzerland. Your judges, all from England, are John Keane, Nicky Van and Terry O'Connor. Your timekeeper is Barry Pinder from Sheffield, and your referee is star referee Roy Francis from Kent. And now, ladies and gentlemen, live and exclusive on Sky Box Office only, 12 3-minute rounds for the British, Commonwealth and European light heavyweight titles. Introducing to you in the blue corner, your challenger, wearing these solid white trunks with blue trim, fighting out of Sheffield, Yorkshire, weighing in at 12 stone 6 pounds. This gentleman brings to the ring an impressive record. 22 fights, 21 wins, 11 inside the distance, against only 1 defeat. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Clinton Woods. And his opponent in the red corner, your champion, wearing the black trunks. He's fighting out of Leeds, Yorkshire, weighing in at the championship limit of 12 stone 7 pounds. This gentleman brings an impressive record to the ring also. 40 fights, 31 wins, 27 inside the distance, against only 8 defeats and 1 draw. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the British, Commonwealth and European light heavyweight champion, Crawford Ashley. 12 3-minute rounds of boxing.
Look after yourself at all times, the man said. Very, very British touch this, the 3 championships with 3 British judges if needed. Well, Roy Francis, who doesn't vote, he might have to do a bit of counting instead. That's Clinton Woods from Sheffield. Only 1 loss, and that was at super middleweight to David Starry in Hull, and then he moved up to light heavyweights. So it's, well, in the words of Crawford Ashley's trainer, Bob Paget, it depends which Crawford turns up. He says, you know how unpredictable he can be, brilliant sometimes, and just a little lazy on other occasions. But I'll have to drag, I suspect, to get down to this 12 stone 7 division, 175 pounder. But he makes it. It was a bit tight at the weigh-in, apparently. And there was some talk about, well, It might be his last at light heavyweight, but I doubt whether he'd go up to heavyweight. It's not big enough. Cruiserweight, actually, yeah, 13 stone 8. Oh, well, I think the right Ashley's turned up for this one.
Well, Reg, with 3 titles at stake, I mean, Crawford can't really slip up. I mean, this is everything going in one fell swoop if he doesn't perform. Woods, he's an excellent opponent, Reg. He's not maybe the most fashionable boxer you'll ever see. I wouldn't call him awkward. He's better than awkward, but he's got a kind of unorthodox style. But Ashley will have to be his best and keep his concentration going. But he's already drawn blood from his nose, so that's certainly a positive start.
Well, he certainly got over being shell-shocked in October, surprisingly, in London by Ollie Clements and Crawford Ashley, and ordered by the Border Control to take a rest and had to be medically tested and everything after. But he's made a really good comeback since then.
Well, Clinton Woods, Reg, has decided to try and come forward. I got to say I'm slightly surprised. I thought it would have been a counter-punching campaign in the early stages, but maybe he feels if Ashley's tight at the weight, get some steam out of him as soon as possible. A little bit reckless Woods here in the first round. Ashley can certainly punch, taking some chances.
We certainly saw Crawford Ashley in the beginning of his career, Jim, when we were on the road doing these shows, didn't we? Didn't think he'd still be around at 34, and sometimes better than ever.
Always liked him though, Reg, you know, always liked the way he went about his business. Not much in the first round, Reg, maybe shaded it towards Ashley. Just more accurate with his punching. Woods trying to come forward, but no, couldn't really call it pressure as yet.
All he got was a bloodied nose in that round, Woods. Oh, there he was. A couple of Cockney lads in the corner there, former boxer Tony Breen on the outside of the ropes, and Bob Paget inside.
Yeah, well, that was probably the only burst of punches from Ashley in the first round. He's nursing himself in nice and steady, but you can see the nosebleed already.
Howard Rainey boxed actually for Fitzroy Lodge Club in London, but very much a Sheffield man. There's a nice close-up of the thoughtful-looking chap, isn't it, at the moment? One non-style belts, had 2 cracks at the World Championship away from home, one in Memphis and the other in State Line, Nevada. You've got to go something to go and win out there against Michael Nunn and Virgil Hill. So second round.
I know Woods has come up, Reg, from super middle, but he does look a bit smaller than Ashley, doesn't he? Ashley looks a lot more powerful.
That's the 12 stone limit, super middleweights. The Ben Eubanks, those guys at that weight, and Steve Collins.
Woods is taking the bull by the horns here, Reg. He's taking chances, trying to force Ashley back, trying to set the pace. Don't know if I would advise that or not, don't know.
Ashley can't afford to take this guy lightly, actually, Jim. He's a bit of what they call a nuisance. He comes at you in awkward stance, maybe, but gets away with a lot.
No, as I was saying, I wouldn't call him awkward because that's not fair. He's unorthodox. But actually, this is slightly different from his normal style. He's very aggressive tonight. He's really up for this fight. And Ashley is a man who likes to intimidate opponents with his power early. Well, I think Woods is showing him that he's not in the slightest intimidated, and I believe him already. Can't ask for any more commitment from Woods, Reg, can we?
No, absolutely.
This is good stuff.
Well, that's what you call a challenger, isn't it?
He doesn't have a lot of power, Reg. He's not a big puncher, but he's forcing Ashley to work, and I think that is probably his main plan.
You whipped that uppercut in there, right above our commentary position there, Ashley.
Ashley's doing the right thing, Reg. He's not reacting. I mean, he could maybe end up losing a round or two just by being outworked. But what's the point wasting energy, missing? He's taking his time. He wants to use his power, not waste it. So plenty of time to go. No signs of panic in Ashley's work.
He needs an impressive fight, actually here. If you remember that French African, he made a hard work of him, Cedric Barney. Oh, that's better. He's opening up a bit now as Woods comes in.
I remember the Sullivan fight, Reg, that was a split decision, but I thought Ashley won it clearly.
Yeah, I don't know
why the judge went against him.
Yeah, up in York, wasn't it? I thought that was a terrible verdict to make it split. He had a pretty good round there, Clinton Woods. He did all the work. A little bit of decent countering later in the round coming in from Ashley.
I think a problem he might have, he was breathing with his mouth open. He was breathing with his mouth open towards the end of the round. I think that nosebleed could give him some problems. But I mean, that was a good round, total commitment. But if you're breathing with your mouth opened against a big puncher, then there's always a chance you're going to get some jaw damage, or a jaw broken. So I hope the bleeding stops in that nose. It's far too early to be hindered by that. But a good round from Woods.
See, this is where Woods came back there. Got away with a couple of decent punches there too.
Yeah, we saw total commitment from Woods in that round. Good round for him.
Third round coming up. British, Commonwealth and European Championship at stake here.
Well, I think Woods has decided that he can't beat Ashley on the back foot. I expected him to be doing it on the back foot. It surprised me. I wonder if it surprised Ashley, but he's quite prepared to come forward.
Doesn't like to be harried too much like that, Ashley. But he's a decent counter puncher, though. He's got to watch for that, Woods. If he walks in a bit reckless or head held high, he could well get tagged.
I think the danger will come, Reg, as the rounds wear on and the pace slows. Ashley is not reacting too much to these attacks. He's still keeping calm. He's not using up too much power. But if he's tight at the weight, Reg, Woods is doing exactly the right thing. This guy is going for these 3 titles.
This was some game plan they've come up with, the boxer and his cornerman for Clinton Woods.
Ashley hanging on, Reg. Who would have thought that in the third round?
Yeah, you'll have to dig a bit deep here.
It's the way he's been forced back, Reg. This is really surprising me. Full credit to Clinton Woods.
Inside the last minute of the third. Oh, he held on to the ropes there as well. Just as well he didn't land a blow. I think the referee would have backed him there, actually. He doesn't like that. Unfair use of the ropes.
Well, Reg, I'm surprised, and I think Crawford Ashley is shocked the way Clinton Woods is coming at him.
Yep.
This is really working for him at the moment. really fired up. He's given Ashley no room to punch, no chance to get leverages into his shots. Perfect tactics, working a treat. You have to remember, Reg, a big punch is not the most important thing. A sound chin is far more important, and I reckon Clinton Woods has that, so this may well work for him.
Well, it's a bit of a shock going on there, I would have thought, for Crawford, actually. I must say, I agree with Jim White. I didn't think Clinton Woods, well, almost had the nerve. He's certainly a brave enough guy, and he's tried to take over early on.
You see the thing, Reg, it's not half-hearted attacks. He's not toying with the punches. He's putting his heart and soul into these attacks, so he doesn't have to worry about counters. He's forcing Ashley back, and he's really going for it. This has really surprised me. See, he's really nothing half-hearted about what he's doing, putting everything into that. Ashley all over the place here.
There's calm and collected in that corner with Howard Rainey, the trainer. And there's a run down on the punches thrown there, but Woods had the edge on it. Round 4. And the man with the championships and the Lonsdale belts and the reputation is, well under fire here.
Ashley, I think, trying to get the jab moving now. Ashley has an excellent jab, but Woods has taken it away from him in the first 3 rounds. No doubt he'll try to get it working now.
That's a bit better. He's picking them slightly better in this round now, Ashley. As Paul Dempsey said at the start of the show, he doesn't want to go back to be the supporting player on fight cards. But, you know, he's been through some wars. At 41st fight at 34 years of age, Ashley. You're wondering whether that will catch up with him, and if it's true that he has to work too hard to get the weight off.
I wonder, Reg, if it's possible he's underestimated Woods, because Woods is the type of fighter, what he's done so far, he could underestimate him. But he is really fired up here. Ashley just getting some punches off a little bit better this round.
Yeah, Woods just won't give him the room to work, Ashley, really. It's crowding him the whole time.
Woods just not quite as effective in this round. It's when the pace slows that you start to think that Ashley, his power might come into play then, with that little extra split second to get the shots off.
Good competitive championship like this.
Yeah, this is far better than I thought, Reg, and far different from what I expected. Well, Woods finishing strongly, which augurs well for the rest of the round, for the rest of the fight.
Woods following him back to the corner there. I just say, how do you like that? He's got very big support, actually, from Sheffield, Clinton Woods. There he is. The bruises and cuts of battle there are showing, isn't it, on the right-hand picture there of Clinton Woods. Let's have a look at this replay now.
Well, that was a tough round. Ashley made his stand in the early part of it. Woods looked as though he was going to become a little bit ragged, but he grit his teeth and just did what he's been doing for the whole fight so far, given everything he's got. He's not thinking about pacing, he's not thinking about the next round, he's only thinking about the round in front of him. And so far it's working well. I believe I've got them dead level at the moment, Reg, but this is a belter.
Coming out for the 5th round. And it certainly proved a hard defence by the look of it for Crawford Ashley in the 3 championships. There's confirmation then of Jim's scorecard, as he says, has them level. But just to remind you that 3 English judges, John Keane, Northampton, Mickey Van Leeds, Terry O'Connor, Birmingham, if we do need the points.
Ashley not looking the force that we've seen him in the past, Reg. He's flagging a little bit. This pressure is getting to him.
Ashley his way through all the bruises and blooded face and everything, Woods, doesn't he, Jim? He's one of those throwback old pros, he is.
Yep, and Ashley's the one who really doesn't fancy this pace. He's the one who wants to get the pace dropped, take a breather. Woods is showing the commitment again.
But we are wondering at the same time whether Woods might punch himself out a little bit if this keeps up.
Well, he's looking stronger at the moment. Ashley is always the one grabbing hold and trying to look for the breather, backing off. This is a real hard battle. Well seen, there's 3 championships at stake here. See, it's the way Woods puts so much into the attack. He doesn't send the punches in, he takes the punches in, he follows the punches in. If they don't land, he's right on top of Ashley, giving him no room to counter. This is perfect tactics. Not always pretty to watch, but exactly the right thing, right on top of Ashley all the time.
There's no way that Ashley can play sort of matador, is he? This bull of a fellow is coming at him, and he's really got to unload some stiff punches to keep him in check.
And you can see Ashley's mouth wide open, Reg, as we're speaking, gasping big breaths. This pace is getting to him.
And we're only in the 5th round, Jim.
Yep. Whoever come up with this plan for Woods has come up with a good one.
Well, I think we might credit manager Dennis Hodson and certainly Howard Rainey, who's worked with some pretty good fighters too. He's been around a long time, Bobby Patrick as well, a Cockney lad from South London, and so they're trying to keep that bruising and swelling down over the right eye there.
See, he's breathing through his nose again, Reg. That's good news, because that nosebleed could have given him some problems, but it seems to have cleared up. There he goes, breathing through his nose, so things look a wee bit better for him.
And he seems to have agreed in everything this trainer's saying. It's very good when you're sitting on the stool, Jim, as you well know, but when you get up, it's got to be done. Round 6. Ashley, just to bring you up to date, the obvious areas in the black trunks. And Clinton Wood, not particularly well known to the fight public at large, as he boxed a super middleweight and lost only 1 contest with 22. hasn't got a great record for stoppages, really, but he gets through some of them. I think it's about 11 he's had.
So this is a completely different Clinton Woods to the one I've seen in the past, Reg.
The one before really David Starry, he wasn't very good that night, was he?
No, but this way really fired up. Maybe the extra weight agrees with him, Reg.
Yeah, it would seem that way, yeah.
He's standing off now, sending the jabs in. That's not what he wants. He doesn't want to trade jabs with Ashley. Carrying the punches right in and getting on top of him has been working. He doesn't want to stand off and trade. The nose started bleeding again.
I think he can cope with that all right, Jim. As you say, it does affect the breathing, but if you have to lose blood, it's best through the nose than through cuts around the face.
Actually
He's trying to whip that
again.
uppercut, and he's trying to stop Wood in his tracks with that.
Wood standing off a little bit more in this round.
Loading up the big right hand, isn't he now? Ashley quite a bit, showing it a bit too much perhaps, but Wood just keeps storming in.
Ashley's got a lot of things going for him, Reg, but I'll be honest, digging in deep when you've run out of steam is maybe not one of his strong points. I mean, he likes a fight where he can get into control and let the big bombs go. Really feeling the pace here.
Clinton Wood supporters there, been chanting all the way through. Well, this is where he's, see that right hand he's been showing that, and then probably the uppercuts have been his best puncher. Darby's landed right on the point of the jaw with it, but he's done. And there's Wood flying back again. Talk about teeth gritting stuff, that is, isn't it? Well, they'll keep that swelling down a bit. I mean, it's not going to get any better. Well, actually, you know, there overall now has thrown more, well, almost more punches. Then you see Woods with 297 against 293. It's getting closer. Seventh round. And an extraordinary display actually by the challenger Clinton Woods from Sheffield. Smudged blood on his white trunks there from his own nose.
Whereas every picture tells a story, and that the picture of Ashley sitting slumped in his corner, really gasping for breath at the end of that round, he is really feeling this pace. Yeah, as I said earlier, having a big punch is nice to know, but if you've got true grit, conditioning and a good chin, and that's what Clinton Woods is showing here, that can usually come out on top. Ashley flagging badly here.
Yeah, he looking to hold on as well, didn't he? Certainly to stop Woods from working inside. It's getting a bit untidy actually, as they're both gasping for air, it would seem. But, this time in the early morning anyway. That must be a bit tired hanging around to get in the ring even.
Sometimes you can say Wood's punches are not of the highest quality, but he's pumping them out, Reg, and he's taking the initiative. Getting into the driving seat.
He's always looking to pick that one punch all the time, Ashley. Meanwhile, Woods is pumping out his night's work. But he's taking some in reply, of course.
But it's just everything he's got, Reg, he's putting into this fight. He's really going for these 3 titles. You really have to commend him for this effort. Ashley again, the one walking away looking for the breather. Woods exerting the pressure. Not always tricky, but this is looking good.
He's really flailing there, Ashley.
Well, as Ashley sat in the corner at the end of the last round, Reg, he looked exhausted, and he's finishing this round in the same state. Mouth wide open all the time, Ashley, trying to draw breath into the lungs here.
Certainly slumps in the school there, Ashley, I must say. When he gets back there, he sits down and thinks, well, thank God there's somewhere to sit with. Woods had the upper hand there on the punches landed. So Woods on top on this replay, Jim.
Well, Reg, this is the important round. You're halfway through, just over halfway through the fight. Still got 5 rounds to go. If you can put a dent in the other guy, this is the best time to do it. Break his heart, still with almost half the fight to go, and that's what Woods done. A big attack, stuck with it, and Ashley really looked exhausted as that round ended. If Woods can pick up the next round at the same type of pace, he can bring this man's heart. Look at him in there, Reg. What does he look like?
So the 8th round. And the man who came in as a distinct underdog here, Clinton Woods of Sheffield. Just a remarkable performance, as Jim Watt's rightly been saying. He's not the most stylish of boxers, but he gets the work done. And Jim's got him a couple of points ahead on his unofficial. On sheer work rate.
Yep, sheer work rate, desire, will to win, just throwing everything he's got into this. Ashley always the one trying to break the action, trying to slow the action. Well, I'll say it again, Reg, this is a totally different Clinton Woods from the one I've seen in the past. Picked a nice night to blossom, hasn't he?
Absolutely, he's really pumped up for it.
Signs is that he could force a stoppage here. Ashley's got nothing left. Nothing left. I don't know if he's got weight worries. I don't want to blame it on that, because I don't want to take away from Clinton Woods.
No,
this is superb.
He's fighting the right type of fight. Hitting on the break there.
Ashley is just going through the motions, Reg. He's got nothing.
Yeah, no. They tried the towel in. Bobby Patchett in the corner threw the towel in. The referee stopped it anyway. Officially, they shouldn't throw the towel in, actually, believe it or not. In that 8th round, Jim Watt spotted it immediately that he had nothing left. And Bobby Patchett, good compassionate act there from his trainer, actually, and manager, or commercial manager anyway, Tony Breen, made up their mind. They must know that he's dragged to do the weight, and they don't want to see him take further punishment.
And Reg, I'd like to dwell on that for a minute. All the boxing knockers all over the world, all over the country. There, a corner man seen his man had nothing left but courage, and he picked the time and threw the towel in. We know what we're doing. This is a rough game, it's a dangerous game, but we're here because we love it and we look after our kids, and that's what happened here. But look at the commitment from Woods here. First class, all you can ask from a guy. What a night he's picked to bring out the best in himself. Actually, nothing left here. He's been breathing with his mouth wide open for the last 2 rounds. In goes the towel. He was still on his feet, Reg, but nothing to offer. And look at Clinton Woods. You really feel for the guy.
Yeah, at least he can walk out under his own steam there, Jim. But what a fantastic win for this fellow who came in, as I say, with not exactly a no-hope, but certainly a distinct underdog. Not in his own mind, obviously. See, he agreed with that, Roy Francis. He makes the actual decision. It'll be referee stop the contest and not retired.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 1 minute 38 seconds of round 8, referee Roy Francis stops the contest. Ashley in no position to continue. Your winner and new British, Commonwealth and European champion from Sheffield, Clinton Woods.
Big night of boxing already in Manchester. Just to remind you of the highlights at this point.
Champion Crawford Ashley, ladies and gentlemen.
Damien Kelly, the reigning Commonwealth flyweight champion, has added the British title belt after a points win tonight over Anthony Hanna. Then it was Michael Brody's turn, and another brilliant display from Brody, 25 in a row, and he is still the European Super Bantamweight champion, stopping Salim Mejkoun in the 9th. And as we've just seen, we have a new British, Commonwealth and European light heavyweights champion, and it's Clinton Woods, who's been knocking on the door for a while, and he has beaten Crawford Ashley on an 8th round retirement. So much still to come as we build up to the big event in Madison Square Garden. We'll be back in a moment. Heroic performance tonight from Clinton Woods, the new British, Commonwealth and European light heavyweights champion, and he did it the hard way in a gruelling affair against Crawford Ashley. Here he is, talking to Rob McCaffrey.
OK, it's not the best you looked a bit here, but it must be the happiest you felt for a while.
Best I've ever felt in my life. I knew I could do it. I've gone through. I've boxed a very strong fighter. I've showed people that I've got the strength at this weight.
Jim Watt was saying it was a different Clinton Woods tonight. What was different about him?
It's been different from the last 2 fights. I don't feel comfortable going backwards. I'd rather be a fighter. That's what my tactics were today, to go to him, wear him down. That's what I've done.
It takes some doing, doesn't it, Barry, in a big title affair like this one, for Clinton Woods to prove to us all that he can back a man like Crawford Ashley up. Absolutely.
Intrepid tactics, and he obviously had made his mind up that this was the way to beat the guy. Keep the pressure on him. Crawford doesn't like being backed up. He's a tremendous puncher, but it's worth the risk taking the fight to him, because maybe it's because he doesn't do the weight too easy. He's a huge guy for the weight, and he doesn't like being put under sustained pressure, and that's what Clinton done, and fair play to him. And obviously his nose was broken because the blood was very dark coming down, but again, just it shows the amount of courage the guy has, and it was kamikaze tactics, but it worked for him.
Thrilling affair.
He won it in style.
Jules?
It was definitely a very, very brave fight by Clinton Woods. From the offset, Ashley got his jab going, and he damaged Woods' nose in the very first round. But Woods just refused to be backed up and intimidated, kept backing Ashley up and wore him down.
Evander Holyfield himself would have been proud of that performance.